If you haven't already purchased your titles, you can do so at the end of the event. There's going to be no rush. We have plenty of books, so don't worry about that. And if you brought ones from home that you didn't purchase today, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. We will sign everything that you have. So take a moment, turn off your cell phones. That's the worst thing. Make sure they're completely off, please. Others too. And as some of you may have noticed, Tahara Mafi is not here with us today. She had an unfortunate scheduling conflict. If people did bring her books from home or you did go ahead and purchase them, please see me after the event. Jay will also sign her books. And then you can see, next time you see Tahara, you can go up to her and be like, this is Book Fest, this is what you missed. But if you did purchase her book today, please come and see me after the event. We do have something arranged with the publicist to make sure that you do get your title signed. Make sure I got everything. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce our awesome author panel for Teen Book Fest 2012. First off, Josephine Angelini's retelling of the Iliad features a modern-day teenager coming to terms with her role in starting the next Trojan War. Star-crossed has been called a gorgeous, haunting saga with a refreshingly strong heroine. The sequel, Dreamless, will be released on May 29th of this year, so you have to wait. It's not Alright. Anna Carey was inspired to write Eve when she was asked herself what you would do if the world as you knew it was a lie. Described as a gripping, unforgettable adventure by author Lauren Kate, Eve's story is one of discovery, love, and above all things, trust. The sequel, Once, will be released on July 3rd, 2012. Jay Asher is best known for 13 Reasons Why, a New York Times bestseller for more than 65 weeks. His most recent novel, The Future of Us, co-authored by Carolyn Mackler, features two teens in 1996 who stumble upon Facebook and use the site to gauge how their actions affect their future. One reviewer writes, "The Future of Us is a fiction that repeatedly brings us back to the present, to the choices that we don't even know that we're making." Alexandra Monir's debut novel, Timeless, features a recently orphaned teen who learns she can time travel to the past via an ancestor's diary. This unique talent allows her to meet the boy she's dreamt about her entire life, although she's only just met him in the year 1910. Timeless has been described as both a captivating romance and an intriguing time travel fantasy. So we're going to open up today with each author giving a little bit of a synopsis of their current titles and maybe doing some rating if we can talk everything into it. And then I'll ask some questions and then we're going to go ahead and open it up to the audience. So please join me in welcoming our entire panel.
Now we're just going to look awkwardly back and forth.
You want to go first?
All right. Hi, I'm Alexandra Monir, and it's so fun to be here. Oh, do I need a microphone? Or am I loud enough?
I think you're okay.
I think
You're okay.
I'm pretty loud. So, yes, Timeless is a fun time travel fantasy. It was definitely me sort of living vicariously through my character and getting to sort of fulfill this little daydream that I always had about getting to go back in time to the Gilded Age. So I'm going to read the scene, the very first scene where my character travels back in time, and actually it's her mechanism for going to and from the past is a mysterious key that she finds among her absentee father's things. And this scene that I'm about to read is the moment where she discovers that the key is not just any ordinary key, but it has some very strange magic as well. Michelle sank back onto the bed, eyeing the key warily. Suddenly, there it was again, the key twitching, moving from left to right. Michelle yelped, scrambling back in terror. Am I going crazy? She thought fearfully. Isn't this what happens when people lose their minds? The key continued its strange movements, as if it were anxious to get Michelle's attention. Michelle pinched herself as hard as she could and flinched from the bed. She definitely wasn't dreaming. Her gaze fell on the locked drawer. As she glanced back at the animated key, an idea flickered in her mind. It was crazy, but then she had to try something to stop the key's spasmodic movements. Steeling herself, she walked over to the bureau. She She squeezed her eyes shut as she reached for the key. It stopped moving and she picked it up. Barely able to exhale, Michelle approached the desk. With a shaky hand, she tried to fit the key in the lock. The key burst to life. Michelle cried out in shock, stumbling backward as the key didn't fit into the lock but instead melded to it like a magnet, sparking and moving as if it contained a hidden battery. The desk door swung open, the key falling forward into it. At first, Michelle was too afraid to look inside. What other bit of crazy witchcraft or voodoo could be waiting there for her? But her curiosity got the best of her, and she gingerly took a peek. Lying flat in the drawer was an ancient-looking leather-bound journal. The skeleton key was pressed to it like a paperweight. Michelle's heart raced. Had this journal belonged to one of her parents? Were they trying to communicate with her somehow? She quickly stuffed the key into her pocket and opened the worn and dusty diary. But to her disappointment, the name Clara was engraved in calligraphy on the inside cover. Beside that was written the year, 1910. Michelle flipped open the diary to the first yellowed page. 10-10-10. Today began just like any other day, but it quickly turned into much the opposite. As Michelle stared at the date, her jaw dropped. Today was also 10-10-10, October 10th, 2010. Just then, the gold mantel clock sounded a chime, and suddenly Michelle had the inexplicable feeling that her hands were stuck to the diary pages. She tried to pry them off, but she couldn't let go. What is this, she thought anxiously as she continued her attempts to yank her hands off the diary. Did the pages turn to glue over the past century, or what? In the most terrifying motion Michelle had ever experienced, the diary seemed to pull her into its binding, and she found herself falling headfirst into an abyss of pages. She screamed at the top of her lungs, her stomach swooping sickeningly, as though she were on an upside-down roller coaster. "Help!" she shrieked. "What's happening to me?" She was swimming now, in a sea of papers and ink, as the diary had somehow enlarged to a monstrous size, able to swallow her whole. Then the diary pages vanished, and Michelle screamed again as her body involuntarily spun and swirled around her bedroom. A bedroom that seemed to change with every glance, strange-looking figures entering and disappearing at the speed of light. The room seemed to turn older and older as she spun, and without warning, the spinning stopped, and everything was once again clear and in focus. Michelle hit the floor with a thud. The scream she heard when she landed was not her own. Standing right in front of Michelle was a waif of a girl with pale skin, red hair tied back in a braid, and green eyes. She looked just like the painting of Clara Windsor hanging in Michelle's room, but unlike the aristocrat in a sumptuous ball gown, this pale-faced girl wore a ratty, ill-fitting black dress and looked entirely out of place in the elegant bedroom. Michelle scrambled to her feet in terror, but she fell to the carpeted floor again, dizzy and weak. Clara stared down at Michelle, her eyes wild. Who are you?" she gasped. "Wherever did you come from?" What are you?" Michelle could barely speak as she gaped at Clara. She looked frantically around the room. Every trace of modern life was gone. Michelle's desk, laptop, and iPod were all missing, and her toiletries on the vanity table